follow-up, then today's show is the show that you want to be a part of. Today, we are going to boost your influence by helping you fall in love with follow-up. Let's get started. I always love that laugh at the end. Anyway, today we are trading seats on the couch because today is supposed to be Colleen's show, and I have stolen her seat as moderator of today's show so that she could be on the hot seat and my co-host on the couch today. But we want this to be an experience where you get to join in too. So do not be a stranger. Join us right here on the couch as we help you get fall in love with follow-up today. How are you doing, Colleen?
Still recuperating, but awesome. I think I'm still on the high.
Yes, so we are both probably, I'm a little jet lag and she's probably a little having a difficult time recuperating because this past weekend, we totally had so much fun. I flew to Maryland where I was the in-person peanut gallery with a few other members from the MinkLife community for Colleen's Fall in Love with Follow-Up Accelerator. And so Colleen, the question for you today is why did you even create the Fall in Love with Follow-Up membership?
So so I think I want to thank Monica and Yo and everybody who came to be my success team here. And the reason we kind of put this together is because after doing 20 plus years of networking and looking and gathering all those contacts, I found that I was still struggling with some of the follow-up things I needed to do. So I think it was like 18 months ago on my birthday in July, we launched the Fall in Love Follow-Up Experience, which is part of the membership, where you actually come and get the follow-up done. So many people go to networking events, we gather all the cards, we stick them in our pocket, then a week later you look and they're still sitting on your desk. And one of the things that happens is people, they kind of know what they need to do for follow-up, but they just tend to put it on the back burner, or they're struggling getting started of figuring out like what to say, when do I do it, how do I do it? They have all these questions which stops them in their tracks. So I know I love to work with other people, and when I work with other people, we all can do it together. So I created the experience so that we'd have a place to come and actually get our follow-up done. If you're like me, if I have an appointment on my calendar, I'm showing up, right? But I had struggled in the past setting appointments with myself to actually get the follow-up done. So the easiest way for me to do that was, I'm going to invite some people to do it with me. So then I know I have to show up. And it kind of evolved from there. In the last 20 years, I've curated a number of tools and things through doing the follow-up. So I knew that for the membership, I wanted to kind of pull all that together. And and the accelerator was like the first step of really helping people kind of get it all done in one day. So they were set for the next, the end of this quarter, and then really getting them set for the next year.
Yeah, what I loved about the accelerator this weekend was we were able to kind of get familiar with the tools that we needed to do follow-up. And like you said, so many times we buy things. And there was a few other members who were a part of the accelerator who's like, yeah, I'm on my 4th CRM because I can't figure out how to get it to work for me. What I loved about the accelerator is it wasn't about like this tool or that tool, but it was about the behaviors behind using those tools. And so even though we all had different CRMs or we all had different ways to different tools that were similar, like different personality tools, different personal touch tools, we could take that behavior that you were teaching us and really apply it to the tool that we have. And so I really, really, really enjoyed that part of it for sure. So let's dive into the show and let's get motivated with today's focus, which is networking. So, why is following up so important for sales?
Well, the statistics tell you, right? So 48% of people go to a networking event or they meet somebody and they totally drop the ball and they never follow up, right? Then if you look at how long it takes a person to actually make that buying decision, you're looking at anywhere from 5 to 12 touches. And I tell people now with social media and all the information that's getting that everyone gets bombarded with, you think about just your email list that you're texting and all the posts and everything. I tell people you probably even need to do more than that, right? Just to get be there so you're top of mind with them. So follow up is just the next step to building those relationships. I know in the past, like even the word follow up was kind of like, oh, everyone says, oh, follow up, I suck, I don't want to do it, right? They're scared with it, and I try to reframe that for people, telling them that really follow up is just your next step of building that great relationship with that person. And when they're ready for that buying decision, if you've built the relationship, the buying decision comes naturally.
So, so true. And as a guinea pig slash first person to try the program and do that during the pandemic, I think I networked and have over 500 people that I've met at different networking events and all of that. And there were a lot of them that like I may have had like a one-off one-to-one after a networking event and didn't really have a whole lot of actual interaction with them after that. And you know, those were people who I kind of essentially didn't nourish. And so when it comes time to reach out to them to ask them for a question, I always felt a little guilty. Like, hey, buy my ticket, even though, I dropped the ball. And so what I've been enjoying being a part of the Fall in Love with Follow Up experience is I've been rekindling some relationships with people that maybe I hadn't talked to in a year or two. And the best part is, I want to say last week, right before I came out to the accelerator, I had a one-to-one with someone. And I was like telling him, like, truthfully, I'm so sorry. Like, we met over a year ago. And I've just recently like reached back out to you, and I'm in this program, follow up experience. And it's reminding me to go back and touch bases. So I'm sorry. And he's like, no, you're better than me, because I felt really guilty when you reached out, like, I totally dropped the ball. And so it really did kind of like, we both commiserated. We were like, oh, well, we just needed a year to marinate in this relationship.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, what do you always say? Divine timing, right?
Yeah, it's like divine timing. He's like, oh, we were marinating on how awesome it was to meet the first time. We just let those juices really go. So we had like a little laugh about it between us, and then we were able to keep moving forward about what our next steps were to keep working together. And so what I love about kind of now that I've fallen in love with follow up is it's just that it's an opportunity to say, hey, my life has changed so much in the last time since the last time I saw you. I bet yours has changed a lot too. What's new? And maybe I can be of service in some of that's new, whether it's for a referral or actually maybe there's something that I offer that can be useful to you. But either way, we just don't know. And so I love being able to have that work session where I can follow up with people and kind of just have that authentic connection with them. And I've gotten compliments from people saying, wow, you really follow up. And I'm laughing because I'm like, I've only talked to you once a quarter. So I intended on doing it way more often than that. So the fact that they feel that way, I'm really grateful that I have the follow up experience to help me kind of do that, because I wouldn't do it normally.
About nurturing that relationship, right? And it's just reaching out and connecting, and everybody is busy, right? So, but I tell people, sometimes people will ask like, oh, I haven't followed up for 3 weeks or something. I'm like, well, did they follow up with you? Well, no. And I'm like, okay, well then be the first person, right? So.
Right. Exactly. So how exactly, as we, help people stay inspired, right? I know we've all dropped the ball. Don't feel bad. There is a way. How does the Fall in Love with Follow Up membership actually work?
So as I said, we pulled in a lot of different tools to really help you build those relationships. So we have the experience that you can come on a daily basis and really get your follow-up done, right? That's the key. So one of the things, I'm a lifelong learner. I love to learn. But what I found in the past was that I wasn't as good as implementing. And when I created this program, I'm like, I need something that marries the two. Not only will you get to learn things and how to do it and different ways to do it, pull from everyone that's in the community, their expertise, but you're actually going to get the things done. You're going to walk away with appointments on your calendar, sales in your pocket. You're going to build those relationships. You're going to make great connections. So some of the things that we do in the membership is we start you off with an onboarding call, right? I want to get to know you, how I can best support you, who your ideal clients are, who are those strategic partners I can connect you to. And we're going to look at what is your current relationship marketing assessment. We'll do that. So like, what are you doing now? So we kind of get that stake in the ground, and then we can figure out where can we enhance things. Sometimes it's actually looking at, networking events that groups that maybe you don't need anymore, right? They've run their course. So maybe you want to look and shift those up. So as I said, we have the daily work sessions that you can come, you get the work done, we have fun doing it. We make sure we pull the fun into everything. We're going to do monthly Connect, Develop, Succeed mastery sessions. This is where we're going to dive deeper into a tool, a concept, bring in some guest speakers so that you're really getting the most out of the tools that you're using, getting the most out of being more efficient with your time. For those, we do a monthly strategic connection hour. I started this a while back just because so many of us go to networking events. We have lots of one-on-ones and we're like, oh my God, I can't do 12 one-on-ones a week. So I'm like, how can I still connect with people but not take 12 hours to do it, right? So we created the strategic connection hour where we kind of curate all the people to come, and then we actually can do those introductions right there during that hour. So if there's people I want to introduce, I make sure they're both on the call so we can actually do those introductions right then. You'll have access to a lot of several exclusive and private groups so that you can get that accountability, those extra tips out there to get, so the extra tips and tricks that are out there, and just really that community that most people need in order to really help them take their business to the next level. Always have question and answer sessions. We don't want you out there hanging. We want to make sure that you're supported and you are able to rock and roll. We have through the MinkLife courses, we're going to do 6 of those. This is where we can really dive deep into all the different categories of people that you should be following up with. A lot of people follow up with 2 categories. They know they need to follow up with their prospects and they know they need to follow up with their customers, but there's a whole other set of people that you really could be tapping into to really expand your business and excel in that sense. Member spotlights in the community, and we're always going to add more things to the membership, discounts, exclusive offers.
Love that. That's a lot of stuff.
Well, you know me, like I just, as I find something cool, I'm like, oh yeah, we should add this and we should add this, and it, in reality, we talked about a lot of the tools, right? And it's like, just because the tool is there doesn't mean you have to do everything, right? You can start at the free level for the tools and use them. You can always upgrade at different points. Like we talked about different tools. Like if you love to handwrite your cards out, I'm like, great, handwrite your cards out if you're doing it. If you're not doing it, then let me show you a better way. Because the fact of someone getting a card and not getting a card is can be a difference, right?
Yes.
Really look at being tool kind of independent. There's lots of tools that I use on an ongoing basis that I can support you with. But if you have other tools, that's, we work with those too. So it's just a matter of trying to make sure you have everything that you need just to really take all this to the next level, get it done so that you're out there, earning that. Not only I talk about not only like financial currency, but that social currency out there.
Yeah.
You're making those connections that can, you never know, that one next great connection is going to take your business to the next level.
Yeah, I'm laughing inside a little bit because Peggy was talking to the Steves yesterday and they like walked right into her next question. And you did exactly the same thing to me today. You walked right into my next question, which is what are some of the tools that we actually use in the Fall in Love with Follow-Up membership?
Yeah, so we alluded to some of them. So we look at, so in the membership, we not only look at different types of people you should be following up with, but the different ways to follow up with people. So we talk about, when you're at events, talking about how can we, follow up with people from events, looking at doing personal touch. So whether that's texting, direct messaging, those, and then in the personal touch category, I use send out cards that we use for physical card sending out. So as I said, it's something that, at top of mind, typically the best card that I did for during the pandemic, I've gotten the most response from. And if anyone wants it out there, let me know, send me your address. I will send you a copy. But we did a card that said, on the card, it said, "You're muted." And I sent that out like at the beginning of the pandemic. And I see that card like all the time, so on different Zoom calls, I'm sitting there and someone that pulls their card out and says, "Look, you're muted." So it's been the best, like funniest thing in cards that was out there. And I tell people, think about doing, part of in the membership, we talk about, send things at different weird times, St. Patrick's Day, we're so lucky to have you as a client, or, I had a financial planner that we worked with, and it was Millionaire Day, right? So we sent a card around Millionaire Day. So there's lots of things that we, teach and brainstorm and so forth in the membership that, so if you're like, oh, what can I do? We can brainstorm as a group to do that.
Yeah, what was in the accelerator, we got a chance to kind of do that quite a bit. But what I loved about not only, the cards as a tool, but there were other tools that you offered up, like Be Connected, a tool to kind of connect with people and to network. And then you brought in another tool for a CRM, and you brought in another tool. Well, you brought in MinkLife as a tool for community and community engagement. And what I loved about that was, as you were bringing in those tools, it wasn't about the tool itself, but it was about the behaviors behind the tools. And
Right.
so how you were teaching us, like, well, these are the ways that you stay engaged with people using this kind of tool. It really did kind of help. Now, mind you, we were able to play with some of the cool tools that Colleen had kind of demonstrated to us. And so we were able to actually right then and there kind of play with those. But I loved that it was like, this is there are more than one, Bank is a personality profiling kind of tool, but if you use something else, you can also use that as well. So I loved that you were able to kind of like demonstrate some of this follow-up on these tools, because I don't know, I experienced Bank before I met you. But when I found that information about Bank, I was like, well, this is great information. I just have no idea how I'm supposed to use this
How to apply it, right?
in real life. Like, how do I apply this? And so what I love about the Fall in Love with Follow-Up experience, and also the accelerator and the membership as a whole, is that you actually get to now learn how to use those tools properly, so that it's actually the tool is working for you. You're not working for the tool. So it's like, are you hammering, or is the hammer hammering, and you're just kind of like holding on to the hammer?
Yeah, well,
that you stay apart.
Yeah, one of the reasons I really wanted it this way is because I have been so guilty of buying something and knowing I need to implement it, and it's just like kind of sitting on the shelf. Sometimes it's a digital shelf, but it's like sitting there on the shelf, and it's like, oh yeah, I spent this money because I know I need to use it, I need to get it implemented, but there might not be the the support there, or you have a question. Usually it's the fact that you start to implement something and you have a question, and there's just there's not the support there. There's not really that person to bounce some ideas off, like, should I do it this way or that way? And I really wanted the membership so that we can come as a team of people, a community of people, to really help and support everyone, because everyone comes from a different perspective, right? I might look at something one way because I'm a high knowledge nurturing person, but a blueprint or an action person is like, oh no, like, this is how I see it. And that's not to say I'm going to necessarily change everything, but it's good to know that this is how it's being. If I present this way, this is how they're going to see it or understand it, and then be able to tweak it or change the language with it. I know we were explaining some stuff over the weekend. And it's like, just like one person might be explaining it one way, but then you can change and have someone else explain it slightly different. And for whatever reason, the one word or something hits that person, they're like, oh, I got it. I got the light bulb, So yeah.
You didn't say that. It's like, no, that's exactly what I was saying.
I know. And it's like, but it sometimes it just takes a couple times, right, for people to get it and understand it. And I love the fact that you're not spending, your time like just learning, right? I've gone to so many webinars, seminars, challenges, things where they, spend an hour teaching you something, and they're like, okay, now go away and do it and apply it. And I'm like, I hated homework in high school. I don't want to go do homework, right? So I know you have to do the work. So I'm like, why can't we just build it into the program? If you're going to set aside an hour to be with me, I'm going to like teach you, but then get it done. Teach you and get it done, so that you're moving forward.
Yes. So. Yeah, I'm a fan of that. I mean, we have a whole series called Get Shit Done for that specific reason. It's like, yeah, you can tell me how to do it, and I can sit here and listen to you tell me how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, I'm going to walk away and I'm going to be like, okay, well, now I know how to do it, but I didn't get to practice it at all or play with it or do it. I still now have to do the work, and we're all so busy. So sitting, having sessions that are not actionable sessions for me just feels like I've already done enough schooling. I know you have so many degrees. You're like, I've already done enough schooling. I don't need any more degrees, any more education. And that way I need it off my list of things to do.
Mm-hmm.
And what I love about this is it's really about getting it off your list of things to do. And I just want to say, our producer, Peggy, was like, oh, well, there's actual onboarding sessions. Awesome. I'm signing up for my onboarding session. So just know that that's coming.
There you go. Awesome.
All right. So we are rounding the bases because I want to share our announcements and I don't want to dawdle. So let's get to this. You have talked about all of these great things about networking. So what is your final last tip on how to share, or what do you want to share, the final, nail in the coffin on this conversation about following up?
So the thing about follow-up is, remember that connections are key, and you just have to keep doing it until complete, right? And complete can be whatever you want it to be and mean, but it's just a matter of, you just got to stay in the game. You just got to keep building that relationship and know that when it's time for it to go to the next level, whether that's they become a power partner, a street, part of your sphere of influence, they become a customer, it will happen in that time if you're building that relationship. And we all talk about that know, like, trust factor. And I always add and remember, because they can know you, like you, trust you, but if they don't remember you when they need that service, it's not going to matter. So it's just a matter of like staying top of mind with them.
Yes, love that. I would say my one tip that I would say is follow up until they tell you to kick rocks, right? right? So many times, sometimes we get kind of like in our feelings when we're talking to someone. We're like, oh, well, they don't need my services, or they didn't say yes to my offer, or
Mhm.
whatever it is. And really, a no is sometimes not a no; it's just a not yet. And so,
Yeah.
until they tell you, you know what, please don't call me or ask me about any of this like anymore, they're still open to possibilities. So keep following up until they tell you, I no longer want to hear from you. You are not someone I'm interested in talking to, and I am not interested in what you're doing. Until they say those words to you, just keep following up. Obviously, don't be a pest or super salesy
Right.
every single
I
time.
was going to say, we don't do it from a
Super
pesty,
salesy, yeah.
overbearing.
But if they
So,
don't tell you, yeah, I have we don't have anything in common. This is not going to
mhm.
work. Then by all means, keep the door open in your relationship with them, because that's really where the magic is. So, all right,
Even if you only call once a quarter, right? So,
right, once a quarter, well, even once a year still works. Anywho, I have enjoyed our conversation so much, but it's time for our announcements. Jazz fingers. Oh, yeah. So, the announcement that we have is all about you
yay.
today, Colleen. Yes. So, tell us, what announcement do you have?
So I would love for you guys to experience this. We do offer a 2-week free trial for the membership. So jump on my calendar. Let's have a quick conversation. We'll get you started in the 2-week free trial, and we can do that. That's the simplest thing. Is come give us 2 weeks. Work with us for 2 weeks. See if you like it. You're gonna get results. And then decide after that.
Love that. So, what the Fall in Love with Follow Up experience, I'm sorry, not experience, the membership comes with so many things. Not only does it come with all those things that she had on the slide, but it also comes with the MinkLife a Mingle membership. So, if you do the 129, you will also get the Mingle online community, the private app where you're able to watch videos in our knowledge library, where you're able to do direct messaging with our community members, ask for help whenever, 24 hours a day, and also share your expertise so that maybe someone can hire you to be their genius in an area that they need help. Also, it comes with your Minkubator. That's right. You get to do the co-working as well as a part of your membership with the Fall in Love with Follow Up experience. So it really is a smarter way to get things done, where you get all of the things on your to-do list done, where you have more space on your calendar because everything is timed and focused, and you get support from trainers, coworkers, or you can work independently. Either way, you will be able to do what you love because you're creating more time in your day. And last but not least, you also get an opportunity to be a co-host on the show, be featured on the podcast, aka the show in audio version, and also be featured in our publication. So your membership to the Fall in Love with Follow Up experience is really the big time, big bonus of it all. So feel free to go to the website of www.connectdevelopsucceed.com, which will also get you on her calendar. And in that process, sign up for her, and you get us for free. How about that? I feel like that is the biggest
That's
bonus.
a big bonus, right? So.
Bonus. And the reason why is because I feel like if you do MinkLife motivation, you're going to end up having to do the Fall in Love with Follow Up experience anyway, because it is a tool that no one offers. And she has broken my calendar on so many occasions. I keep telling her, like, literally, you break my calendar all the time. So if you want your calendar broken with people who are actual warm leads, and you want to be able to do something with that, you can take what we would give you in the MinkLife motivation community in helping you kind of get everything ready to receive them, and then apply it in the Fall in Love with Follow Up membership as well. And all of those things work really, really well together. And don't forget, yesterday we told you all about how the Go Connections Network has just been a part of our membership. So if you do the Fall in Love with Follow Up experience, you not only get the Fall in Love with Follow Up experience, you also get the Mingle community, and that includes your 4 courses and the co-working and the private app and all of those things. And then you also get the Go Connections networking as well. So you have 180 networking events to go to. Those 3 things together is like, what else do you need for 100?
Yeah.
There really is nothing else that you need. So I don't know. There's nothing else to be said other than thank you so much for letting me steal your
Thank you. I'm super excited. We're going to have retreats and all this. I can see it.
Oh, I know. That's coming. Retreats are coming, guys. So if you want to party with us in real life, it's happening. But you got to be part of the membership to know what's going on, because we only hang out with people who are a part of our crew. So we'll see you very soon. I think next week, Yo is going to calibrate your life on Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And with that, Colleen, there's nothing else to say but bye.
Yep. See you guys soon. Let's connect.